Hey y'all, so today we'll be doing this a bright neon blue sunset, springtime kind of look thing. So my eyebrows were already done with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Pomade in the shade Ebony, and now I'm going into my Morphe 35M palette into the shade Sparks Fly using some kind of Amazon hair store blending brush, whatever. It don't matter, you get the job done. And I'm blending that into my transition area and my crease area. So here I'm about to cut my crease with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn, because y'all know I feel like I gotta cut my crease in every look that I do. I don't know why, that's just my thing. It's what I like, so I'm just keep doing it. So I'm applying a generous amount of this to my lid and giving it the shape that I want it to have for this specific look. What I've learned and how I'm learning to get better at cutting my crease is to apply a lot of concealer, like to have that brush wet so that the product can move easier and it can go wherever you want it to go. So now I have my desired shape, and I'm going into this Mayo Makeup Neon Stackable Pigments, and I'm going into that bright blue pigment, and I'm going to take a flat eyeshadow brush and apply a generous amount of this to the area that I want it to be in. And the fallout is ridiculous, but the pigments are worth it. Here I'm applying some Ardell lashes. So here I'm using the first foundation that I ever fell in love with, my Sephora 10-Hour Wear in the shade 57. Y'all, this was my holy grail. I guess this was kind of my first, ever high-end foundation. So maybe that's why I loved it so much. But I really love this foundation. And yes, I'm looking orange, but y'all, I promise it's going to all come together. It's going to all come together. I don't know why my camera would make me look orange like this, but I promise this is my shade. So I'm using my Morphe foundation brush to apply that all over my skin. Here I'm using my Huda Beauty concealer in the shade Honeycomb, and I'm going to apply a generous amount of this under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, on my chin, and on my forehead. And I'm going to take my beauty blender and my Cucumber Rose Water by Wet n Wild, and I'm going to wet my beauty blender and blend all of this out. And sing. Here I'm using my MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NW45, and I'm just placing this in all the areas that I highlighted using a Amazon Tool Collection brush. Here I'm using my Sephora face powder in the shade Deep Ebony, and I'm going to take my Morphe face brush and apply this in all the other areas that I did not highlight. So here I'll be going back into my Morphe 35M palette, going back into that shade Sparks Fly with my MAC eyeshadow brush, and I'll be smoking out my lower lash line with this, to add a little extra pizzazz, a little extra wow. I love to be a little extra sometimes. Here I'm going into my Ulta Beauty Baked Bronzer, and yes, by looking at this container, you can tell that my highlight is all cracked up. I've dropped this so many times, and I'm really just trying to hold on until somebody buys me a new one. Just throwing hints out there if anybody wants to buy me some new highlighter. But I'm applying this to the highs of my cheeks, and I'm going to apply this to the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose and a little bit on my forehead. So here I'm going into my Buxom lip gloss in the shade Serena, and y'all, I promise I'm gonna venture out into the lip world eventually, but not right now, not for this look. I'm gonna stick to what I know. Y'all know I love lip gloss, but Here's the finished look. If you like this look, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and come back next time to see more.